Mini Rabbit Hole, which is one more video long, by the way, so who wants to guess the next one? Anyway, Wide Awake the way Audioslave did it, not the way Chris Cornell did it, acoustic, right? And the saver of this rabbit hole, requester of this song, is Last Howls. Thank you, Last Howls, for requesting this song. Okay, at the beginning, the bass player, by the way, put your guitar into drop D, just like the acoustic version. The bass player is playing the D minor scale in riff form. In a couple octaves. Right, something like that. The point is, it's a riff using the D minor scale, so that's how, even though no guitar is playing D minor, of course, in the verse of this song, that's how Chris decided that it should be a D minor chord. Good decision. Anyways, Tom Morello, who knows if he's got an octave pedal going on, and I kind of suspected because in the studio recording, the low octave is panned left and the high octave is panned right, but they're both going at the same time. So that suggests that he's playing a single note and we're hearing a pedal. Doesn't matter. I'm going to do the two notes, both octaves, in a way that we can do it without any equipment, and that's going to be D string 12th fret and B string 15th fret. Usually our octave shape is 2 frets higher, 2 strings towards the floor, but once we involve the B string, it ruins everything, and it has to be this slightly less convenient shape. So mute your G string. I'm muting it with my pointer finger, just touching it, not pressing it, and then you can strum away. On that, then it goes down 2 frets, up to 15, 18, and 14, 17, and that's it for the intro and the first half of the singing. So, 12, 15, 10, 13, 15, 18, 14, 17. The second half is a little more confusing. This is when Chris went to the B flat, and the octaves start at the same spot, 12 and 15, 2 Ds for 2 measures, right? But then, this is the only time the bass breaks ranks and goes to B flat, and so too does the octaves down to 8, 11 for 1 measure, and then it goes back up to 12, real quick, 15, and then it starts another round. So that's a little confusing. I'll count it out for you. D, or 12, 8, 12, 15, repeat, 12, 8, now 12, 15, 14, and that's the end tag A suspended forward to regular A thing. So here we go. One more time with this. I found it a bit confusing. 12 for 2, 8, 12, 15, repeat, 12 for 2, 8, 12, 15, and tag on 14. Into the chorus. For the chorus, gasp, Tom Morello plays chords. I think he's playing the root 5 minor bar chord for the D minor. You could play this as regular chords if you want. You could play, when we switch to the majors, you could play the root 5 major, you know, this horrible, awful shape. But all of the chords are that shape except for the D, so once you get settled, you're settled. Or you could switch to power chords if you want. That would be fine too. I'm going to stick to the whole entire chord. But D minor, down to C on the 3rd fret. Now we're going up to F on the 8th fret, and then the root flattens thusly. My ring finger stayed, playing that A shape. Then down to B flat, back up to D, and just 4 beats of C, 2, 3 before it repeats. It feels like it got cut off there. I suspect there's 1 measure too few, though I did not count. Too few being 1 measure less than something divisible by 4, because that's what we naturally expect, right? Anyways, first half, D minor. C, up to F, flat the root, B flat, back up to D minor, and then 4 beats of C, 2, 3, 4, repeat, D minor, C, up to F, and B flat, definitely the whole root 5 major bar chord, because you hear that B string whining away at the end of the chorus when he goes F, G, which of course is 2 frets higher. 2 frets higher than F. I just figured out the bass line if you want to play it on the guitar. 2 low Ds, then 7, 8, 7 on the A string, down to 5, then a low D, and then pull off from 8 to 5 on the A string. Adapted for guitar. Don't forget that in the second verse, Chris had run out of words disease, so the second half is only one thing long, and it's the second thing, so it's the one with the that. So D, this is the second half of the second verse. B flat, D, F, E, into the chorus. All right, solo again. I don't know if Tom Morello had his guitar through 93 pedals that we don't have, so I'm just going to do it with octaves the way we can with no equipment more than, of course, a guitar and our bodies. It's the D minor scale. This solo is made out of the D minor scale. What are scales for? They're, for making solos. So let's do our octaves on the A string 5th fret. That's our D, and our minor scale is going to be 5, 7, 8, 10, 12, 13, 15, 17. So you're thinking about those notes. And by the way, do that a few times and get what a minor scale sounds like kind of stuck in your earballs a little bit. It sounded like the solo, right? Anyways, 5, 7, 8, 10, 12, 13, 15, 17. And it does, the first thing it does 2 times. And it's going to go 5, 7, 8, 10, 8, 7. 5, 7, 8, 10, 8, 7. Of course, I'm calling out this fret, and that pinky finger is just moving along in kind. But you see, it's just the first note. 2, 3, 4, 3, 2 degrees of the minor scale. Goldfish brain. And then it does the second thing it does 2 times as well. So 12, 10, 8, 12. 12, 10, 8, 12. I'm noticing a pattern here. It does the third thing twice as well. 13, 12, 10, 12, 10, 8. Twice. 13, 12, 10, 12, 10, 8. Then in climactic fashion, it finishes by going the highest it's been, which is C on the 15th fret. Going down the scale, just normal. 15, 13, 12, 10, 8, 7, 5, and then ending up at the other C. So it went from C to C, spanning an entire octave there. And it ends on D when the rest of the band hits D for the beginning of the next part. Oh, by the way, the solo is over the rhythm part. D minor, C. This is the most straightforward thing in the song. B flat. And then it's cool because on the last chord, C, that's when it makes its journey from C to C. And then it does a chorus just like it did every other time, except it starts chill, right? And also, dot, dot, dot. It finally hits that C for as long as you want it to, as the band kicks in. So it's like a rhythmic satisfaction there, yeah, and the second half is the same as the second half, just like regular. And then the last solo, the outro solo, is pretty much the same as the solo with, take some liberties and play whatever you want during the last segment of it, because he doesn't just walk from C to C, but the rhythm part is kind of a mix between a chorus and a solo. It's D minor, C, without going to the F, E thing, and then B flat, back to D minor, and then C with the F, G thing. And for fun, play an open D minor there so you can strum the whole darn thing for ultimate satisfaction. Yeah, and having said that about the last chunk of the last solo, for the whole solo, use the D minor scale and noodle around, do whatever you want to do, or even in the one live version on YouTube of Audioslave, playing this song live, redundancy, is he's just kind of noodling around in D minor pentatonic. So do that too. That would be great. I hope that was fun and helpful. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Last Howls, for saving the day. And I will say the thing. Bye.